Welcome to Clark's Hill Cemetery and another episode of Restoring History. Now, my last video, we went to southern Maine where the Goodwin family came from England and settled in Berwick and southern Maine down that way. And now we are in Stetson, Maine, again at Clark Hill Cemetery, where we were brought from southern Maine to Stetson, Kentucky, up here. And I will show you the gentleman that actually brought us here. Samuel Goodwin. This is his wife's Lydia's dates. One thing I could not find, and I'm going to have to call to see if he has a marker. But this is who actually brought us here. Now, Daniel Goodwin, who died in 1869, and his wife Hannah died in 1889, 20 years after. Daniel was the son of Samuel, and Samuel is the one, he was born in southern Maine, or down that area, and brought the family to central Maine up here, where we remained for a while. So what I'm going to do again is to go through the cemetery and show the Goodwins. Now this, unfortunately, is broken. Fanny Goodwin, daughter of Daniel, died September 6, 1855, died 8 months and 2 days. So she was a baby. She was a baby. Now Daniel is probably buried somewhere in here. Not Daniel. Samuel. Daniel is actually buried right there. Samuel is probably buried in here. His stone may have been lost, as with Daniel's back in southern Maine, which is too bad. But I will effort to see if he's here. Now there are quite a few good ones brought up from southern Maine here. Jean Dana Goodwin died July 18th, 1872. And his, let's see, Clara G. Goodwin. Oh, I'm sorry, it says G Dana B. Goodwin. And his name was George. This is his wife, Clara. She died in 1866. And then Caddy Goodwin. Looks like she died at 15 years old, 1865. So she died 1 year before her mother. And it looks like she was 15 years old. Looks like they were young. George G. Dana was 30 years old when he passed. And looks like Clara was 27 years old when she passed. And Caddy was 15 years old. So those three didn't live very long, which is unfortunate. So now Clark's Hill Cemetery is about 10-15 minutes from where I live. It's in Stetson, Maine. And again, that's where we come up here to farm, and I believe, to farm and things of that nature. Chapman Goodwin died 1879. He was 79 years old. Now, back in southern Maine, there was a last name Chapman, so I bet he was named after a mother. I bet you. And then Susan B. She died at 68 years in 1866. And I will tell you, a lot of Susans, a lot of Marys. I've kind of gotten used to seeing the names. Now, right here, this says to the memory of Lafayette Damon, who enlisted in the Civil War, and his wife was Maria Goodwin. She died in 1908. So, let's keep going. George Goodwin, 1864 to 1937. Wife Frances Moody. Their sons Cecil and Ira W. Goodwin. Now, the name Ira is prevalent in the family because Ira Goodwin was my mom's great-grandfather. And Mom had a uncle. My grandfather had a brother named Forrest Ira Goodwin. So Ira came into a little bit of a few names. We had a few people named Ira, and this was an Ira too. It was probably a son of a brother, I would think. I don't see any good ones up here. Wentworth. I'll tell you, this cemetery obviously is a little bit newer than the last one that we're at. That was a burial ground. This is actually a cemetery that is still used. There are people that are still buried today in this cemetery. So this cemetery is still used. The one in southern Maine that we went to is not used anymore. So, and it's, I don't know if it's, I think it's probably as big as the one that we're at in southern Maine. But I will tell you, there's a lot of names that I recognize because Dad grew up in Stetson and Corinna, so he had a lot of friends of names that I recognize. So Charles H. Goodwin. District of Columbia Cavalry, 1884 to 1915, and his wife Nancy Fuller. And there again, Fuller. I had a great uncle. Mom had an uncle named by the name of J. Fuller. He went by Fuller, but his first name was Jasper. And that was my mother's grandfather's name was Jasper. And they named a son Jasper Fuller, but Uncle Fuller went by Fuller. So that's where the Fuller name came in to our family. Now, here's a Merrill. I'm not really sure who's there, but the Merrills are from Stetson, so a lot of, like I said, a lot of names that I recognize. There are a couple of old, that's an old stone up there. So we're going to keep going. like I did last time. Yeah, browns. There's quite a few browns in here too. Oh, olive Goodwin. It's one thing I didn't see last time. Daniel Merrill and olive Goodwin. 1812 to 1896. So this was a Merrill, and so that's the Merrill connection. It's one thing I never knew what the connection was to the Merrills. Dad always said there was a connection. I just didn't know what it was, and I think I kind of know now. So, as you can see, this cemetery is a lot more taken care of than the burial ground. Like I said, it's still used today, so we got a lot of flags. A lot of old stones too. You can see there's a lot of old stones mixed with new. You know, old stones like that. No good ones in there. I think this is a good one right here, though. Nope, not yet. Not yet. I think there is a good one coming up, though, at some point. Because I have been here before and scouted it. But I haven't really gone through totally. Wiggin, that's a popular name. He was a Mason. I don't know if you can see that Masonic symbol. Now, I want to show you something. These are old stones, 1906, 1909. Somebody is taking care of these and making sure they get cleaned every year. One of the things why I started this channel is to honor veterans and clean veteran stones. But I'll tell you, it's kind of morphed into really going through history and reminding people that, you know, there were people that came before us that were hard workers and made this country what it is today. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be visiting cemeteries throughout the state. And I will clean one veteran's grave everywhere I go, but it's now it's more about the history and keeping history alive and not forgetting our roots and not forgetting the people that actually came before us that have allowed us to be here and still be free. Excuse me. So. Yeah, a lot of that says keys. We can't see it, but there we go. Jeremiah Goodwin. He, I believe, is a direct descendant of. He is a direct descendant of our Goodwin line. March 19th, 1891, and this is probably his wife, Mary A. Goodwin, died October 10th, 1886. Now, this is Everett W. Goodwin. I may have to look him up. Says he doesn't give a birth date. Died October 5th, 1895. He was 36 years old when he passed. I'm starting to learn learn how they used to write their dates. That little symbol right there by the side of the 36 means that's how old they were when they passed. So, but I mean, look at all these You know, up here, you're going to see a lot of the older stones. But Everett, Mary, and Jeremiah. And I thought this would have been a good one, but it's not. Powers. I don't know if this is a good one or not. It's in the same area. Georgie B. 1 year. He was 1 year old. Son of, I can't read what the son of is. Maybe the camera will be able to get that, and I'll be able to get it when I post the video. And as with the southern Maine, the older stones, some of these, the erosion has just kind of wiped out the engravings. You don't really know who it is unless you go to the town office and check. They should have a record. Should have a record. That's Wigan. Again, Wigan was kind of not popular, but the Wiggins are from around here as well. That section of the cemetery right there is newer. So there are a lot of I don't have any relatives over that way. Because most of my direct descendants are at Waugh Cemetery in Levant, which we've been to, and I'm going to actually do a video again just to go through and basically say who's who. I haven't done that before, didn't do that before. And one place I haven't really gone too much of, and we're going to do it today, is down below here. Now I want to show you something, and I've got to check this out. The name Plaisted. If you remember, Mehitable Goodwin, who was the wife of Thomas and was down in southern Maine, was a Plaisted. And that's a Plaisted. So I don't know if she's a descendant or not of the Plaisteds that are up here. But that's one thing I can check. So we're going to go down here. Again, I want to show you the new part. See all these new, newer stones up front. And there's a bench. And then you get into the older stuff. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go through the old section, or one of the old sections. Like I said, we were in an old section. This is another old section of Clarks Hill Cemetery. So, what I'm going to do is again, like we've done, is look for any good ones. I may not find any more. Like I said, because after this, most of them, or a lot of the ones that are in relation to me, are at Clarks Hill Cemetery. Oh, Elizabeth Goodwin. Elizabeth M. Goodwin. Died August 6, 1883. No birth date. Looks like she died when she was 29 years old. All by herself here. I don't see any other good ones around her. So, I see a Savage. And these aren't good ones down here. No, that's Caverly. So Elizabeth's all by herself, away from everybody. So we'll have to find out who that one is. Like I said, died August 6, 1883. And that's a Merrill. Like I said, the Merrills are very prominent in the in Stetson, so there's going to be a lot of those. Yeah, and I really can't see that one, and there's really, I just looked down and there's nothing really to see on the front. So again, which is too bad. Shepherd, Daniel Damon. Okay. It's too bad that these, are just come into disarray. That's one thing that I hate seeing. I really do. Oh God, I don't know it. Boy, that looks like Goodwin, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I really can't tell. Maybe when I get to the video, maybe when I get to something I'll be able to see, but through my phone I can't tell too much, and by the naked eye I really can't tell. Johnson's. See, stones like this, this probably was lettering a long time ago, and it's so old that no more. So we got a dresser, Costigan, Hilton, Savage. I can guarantee that Hiltons, they're not related to Paris and all those Hiltons. Not being in Stetson, America. And again, this is, like I said, this is what, this is how stuff like that, this is how they get lost. This is how they get lost. Jordan. Yeah, these are all Jordans. So, sorry, the terrain here is a little bit tricky. Again, I don't see many more good ones, but I'm gonna go through all the way. And we did find the good thing this time is we found who brought us. I did find the place of the family that actually brought us from southern Maine to here. So, which is good. Curtis, Tufts, Leenan, Lenman, Walls, Lenman, boy, this right down here is kind of a mix between newer stones and older stones. That's probably, like I said, this really isn't a big Goodwin cemetery anyway. I did want to go through it, the whole thing, because some of them were here, so I wanted to make sure that I got most of them. Like I said, Samuel's, he's probably in there, but it doesn't say. All it says on that big stone is wife of. So, but I'm sure he's probably up there. Sure, he's probably up there. And these stones are back too. Reed. So Reed. Well, we're almost done. Tasker is kind of a lot of taskers around. And these are old Crockett Nutter coal bath. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to go back to Samuel and Samuel's son Daniel, and you know that Daniel got his name from the Daniel that brought us over from England. He's a ways up in the chain, but I'm pretty sure that's probably where Daniel here got his name from. Pretty sure. Just want to check this out. See? That's really too bad. This Sarah, she's not a good one, but died at 18 years old. And look at the state of the stone. So many of our cemeteries are becoming in disarray and things of that nature. I had to turn off my camera and turn it back on because the file size was getting pretty big. So here we are, back at the Goodwins who brought us here. That's Daniel Goodwin Jr. Died 1885. Walter W. died 1900. Fanny died 1885. Samuel, this is the guy that brought us to Central Maine. Thank you for taking the time to come with me through Clark's Hill Cemetery. Our next stop will be Waugh Cemetery. So again, thank you for taking the ride with me through Waugh Cemetery. Through Clark's Hill, sorry. Through Clark's Hill. And we'll see you next time.